Hey everyone, Jules here for WhatCulture.com, and I'm here with a list that will take all of the good vibe and goodwill of the new year and make some fine yellow snow out of them, because 2018 was a great year for movies, but that didn't mean that it got off scot-free, as even the biggest blockbusters contained moments that got the collective underwear of the internet all up in a bunch. Now, originally this was a top 15 list, and you can see all of its glory over at WhatCulture.com, but I picked the best 10 for you lovely people here today. So let's gather round and get grumpy, as I'm Jules, this is What Culture, and these are 10 movie moments that pissed off fans most in 2018.
Hey, just quickly to pop in before the list actually starts, I just want to talk to you about That Film Theory. If you don't know what that is yet, it's a brand new channel that's going to be about video essays, cinematic experiences, a bit more relaxed approach. Hopefully we'll see you there. You can find the details down below.
Number 10, the origin of Han Solo's name. Solo, a Star Wars story. Of all the ham-fisted fan service in Han Solo's origin story, nothing quite left fans seething like the hilariously unsubtle and totally unnecessary explanation for the rogue smuggler's iconic name. Now, early in the film, Han enlists in the Imperial Army in order to avoid being captured, and when he doesn't give a surname to the Imperial officer, the officer dubs him Solo, because he's alone. Do you get it? This was such a low effort and charmless origin for Han's moniker that it would have been better to simply just not even bother at all. This is exactly the sort of pandering nonsense that people were worried about when the film was first announced. Absolutely no one thought that this was as cool as the movie thought it was. Number 9, Vanessa gets fridged. Deadpool 2. Deadpool 2 was a rock-solid superhero sequel, though it was a damn shame that the movie was framed by the death of Wade Wilson's girlfriend, Vanessa. This was reportedly a scheduling issue due to the actress's commitments to the TV show Gotham, but given that many fans were expecting her to adopt the superhero moniker copycat in the movie, it was extremely disappointing to see her sidelined for 90% of the film. Sure, Vanessa is resurrected via time travel in the mid-credits scene, but considering many complained about her damsel in distress role in the first film, it felt like a majorly missed opportunity to bench her yet again. The complaints were vocal enough that when Fox released the PG-13 re-edit Once Upon a Deadpool late last year, they even included a gag where Fred Savage complains to Deadpool about Vanessa being fridged. Number 8, MAKO dies for no reason. Pacific Rim Uprising. The Guillermo del Toro-less Pacific Rim sequel gets so many things wrong, namely turning Charlie Day into a kaiju-banging antagonist, but nothing stung more than the decision to needlessly kill off the hero MAKO at the end of the film's first act. In addition to giving MAKO virtually nothing to do and relegating her to the role of a glorified paper pusher, she ends up having all of her agency stripped away as she perishes in a fiery helicopter explosion that has zero emotional impact whatsoever. Well, aside from anger, that is. Given how much effort the original movie put into making MAKO a likable hero with an affecting backstory, ditching her like this was just absolutely baffling. Number 7, MAISIE presses the button, Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. The 5th Jurassic Park movie is a car crash of bizarre tonal choices and inane plotting, but it never quite gets dumber or more infuriating than its final sequel-baiting moments. As if it wasn't head-scratching enough that Fallen Kingdom introduces a human clone by way of young Maisie Lockwood, this pays off in the film's climax as she decides to press the Lockwood estate's big red button, setting the dinosaurs free into the world and saving them from being gassed to death. Her rationale, though, is because the dinosaurs are clones and therefore like her and therefore deserve to live, ignoring the obvious fact that she just unleashed a fleet of rabid dinosaurs upon a heavily populated civilian area where hundreds, if not thousands of deaths are now a certainty. And this character is supposed to be sympathetic. Eesh. Number 6, Meryl Streep dies. Mamma mia, here we go again. Right, hands up, I didn't actually see this film, but I've been told by the people that actually did that this is better than the singing would actually imply it would be. I mean, I listened to one song and found it to be akin to murder, so I will take their words for it. However, I was surprised when I learned that they'd killed off one of the main characters in the sequel off-screen. That's right, they didn't even give Meryl Streep the honour of dying on screen and was just offed via some vague lines about her dying sometime before the sequel. Streep does have a brief cameo at the end of the film, appearing in spectral form before her daughter Sophie to sing My Love, My Life, before also weirdly showing up in the end credits rendition of Super Trooper. Baffling creative call to just off the most iconic star in the movie. But then again, director Ol Parker later confirmed that Streep wasn't interested in fronting the sequel and only agreed to sign on when her part was was whittled down to a 5-minute cameo. As you can imagine, fans were less than impressed. Number 5. The random Dr. Sartain subplot, Halloween. For all of the things that the new Halloween sequel got right, what the hell was up with the totally random subplot where psychiatrist Dr. Sartain loses his mind and decides to help Michael Myers out? Sartain not only murders Deputy Hawkins in order to facilitate Michael's escape from the police custody, but it's heavily implied that he caused the initial bus crash which first allowed Michael to get loose. And his rationale is equally weird. He's desperate to know why Michael does what he does and wants to set him loose on Haddonfield once again for a final showdown with Laurie Strode. It's ultimately just a lazy way to get Michael and Laurie together for the third act, and because it's not weird enough yet, Sartain then decides to wear Michael's mask for a brief moment. The only upside of Sartain's heel turn is that he gets the best death scene in the entire movie, having his head stomped into a gooey mess by Michael, so I guess swings and roundabouts. Number 4. There's no true happy ending in Black Mirror Bandersnatch. Now, I liked this project a lot. However, upon speaking to many fans and people within the office, it was clear that Bandersnatch wasn't bulletproof when it came to fan satisfaction, and it all seemed to boil down to the fact that there was no real, air quotes, happy ending. Whatever you choose, you couldn't save the protagonist and get the best rating for your game. Even the more poignant and dramatically satisfying endings don't tend to give Stefan an easy time, and though it's never really been Black Mirror's prerogative to end on an upbeat note, many expected things to be a little different with the multiple endings on offer. People took to Twitter and other social medias to complain, but to be honest, it's Black Mirror. It's not supposed to be happy in any sense, right? Well, it didn't stop him from being angry. Number 3. Star-Lord ruins the plan. Avengers Infinity War. Star-Lord, you goddamn idiots! By far the most infuriating and heavily debated moment of Avengers Infinity War occurs during the climactic battle against Thanos on Titan. The Avengers' plan to steal the gauntlet actually appears to succeed for a moment as Mantis subdues the mad Titan while the other Avengers attempt to yank off the gaudy glove from his hand. But the revelation that Thanos has killed Gamora infuriates Star-Lord enough that he just can't help himself, hitting Thanos in the face and breaking Mantis' hold over him. Well done, you absolute carrot. It turns the plan into a yank job worse than your mother gives. I kid, she's actually a charmer for the meat snake. Also, there's my one per list. As infuriating as this was, I guess you can justify it by saying that it was at least within the realms of Star-Lord's established temperament and personality, aka he's just a man-child and can't help himself. Still though, grrr. Number 2. The Clover monster's barely in it. The Cloverfield paradox. Despite having the word Cloverfield in its title, it's shocking just how little the titular monster is actually featured in this doomed dumped to Netflix sci-fi horror flick. In fact, the iconic creature only shows up for a few seconds in the final moments of the movie, its giant head just bursting out of the clouds. But I guess it's meant to be a stinger, like for more Cloverfield movies or something, but it was still a massive disappointment. And it wasn't unreasonable to expect a Cloververse film to feature at least a few minutes of the signature monster rampaging around, just as happened in the third act of 10 Cloverfield Lane, yet all its absence did was cement the belief that this was a standalone sci-fi movie with the Cloverfield branding tacked on late in the day. And number 1, Credence is Dumbledore's brother. Fantastic Beasts: The Crimes of Grindelwald. The first Fantastic Beasts sequel is a baffling movie for many reasons, but nothing left fans more frustrated, anguished, and confused than Grindelwald's closing revelation of Credence Barebones, Ezra Miller, and his real identity. As it turns out, Credence is in fact Aurelius Dumbledore, the brother of Albus. Not only did this introduce a new Dumbledore to fans totally out of nowhere, it contradicted firmly established Harry Potter lore in the process. As a result, the big twist was met with derision from many fans, while critics dismissed it as a cheap, lazy, sequel-baiting hook. And with the knowledge that the next sequel has been delayed in filming, there's even more evidence to suggest that JK has lost control of her Fantastic Beast and needs to get a good schooling in order to get things back on track. And there we go, those were 10 movie moments of 2018 that pissed off people the most. Let me know down below what you were pissed off most about in 2018, just with regards to film, not in terms of other stuff. Although I do hope that you had a good 2018 and a good start to 2019. I hope that everything is going well there. And you should do yourself another favor by checking out another absolute awful thing that pissed people off. But with me, plug in the bloody shop again, shop.whatculture.com for all of your dead memes on a t-shirt. Enjoy that one. As always, I've been Jules. You can follow me at RetroJ with a 0 over on Twitter. You have been awesome. Never forget that, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye.
Did you know that What Culture also does a board game? It's true, we do. And you can purchase it at shop.whatculture. Who knows, I might even sign a copy or two to devalue them a little bit.